All right, let's dive into this Copa do Brasil final. Flamengo and Atlético Mineiro first leg. You send over some articles, and wow, what a match.
The Maracanã must have been buzzing.
Electric atmosphere, I bet.
Yeah.
And this is just the first half of the story, right?
Oh, yeah, just the beginning. A lot can happen in the second leg. But talk about starting strong. Flamengo, they were all over Atlético Mineiro right from kickoff.
You could see it in the articles, that intensity. It felt like Atlético Mineiro could barely breathe.
That high press, that possession-based game, it's hard to counter when a team's that in sync. Makes you wonder what was going through the Atletico players' heads.
Yeah, trying to get a foothold in the match, and then bam, you've got Arrascaeta and Gabigol just lighting things up.
Those two, they were in the zone. Arrascaeta's goal, textbook opportunistic striking, saw that gap in the defense and didn't hesitate.
And Gabigol, well, 2 goals in a final, that says it all. He's known for delivering in big games.
Game changer, they call him. And for good reason, he's got that something special. It's a question, though, isn't it? What makes players like him thrive under that kind of pressure? Most would crumble, but he just shines brighter.
Ice water in the veins. You mentioned some legendary Brazilian strikers, Romario, Ronaldo. They all had that.
That killer instinct, they embrace the pressure almost like they need it to reach their full potential.
But there was that moment, right? The one the article highlighted. Felipe Luis and Gabigol. A bit of an on-field spat.
High pressure situation, emotions running high. You get those glimpses into the team dynamics, you know.
Raw and real. But Gabigol, he scores right after that exchange. Like, it fueled him.
Channeled it into something positive. And speaking of raw, you could practically feel the frustration radiating from the Atlético Mineiro side, especially that heated moment between Battaglia and Hulk.
Oh, yeah, that was in the article, too. You could sense the tension building.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, what's going on internally? Internal pressure, disagreements, who knows? It's got to affect their strategy going into the second leg.
Absolutely, they're going to need a serious reset. Mentally, tactically, the whole package. Especially considering where that second leg's being played.
Oh, right, their new home turf, brand new stadium, sold-out crowd. Talk about pressure. That new Arena MRV, I bet it's going to be rockin'.
Fortress atmosphere, you know. So after really digging into these articles, what do you think? If you were managing Atlético Mineiro, what's the game plan for this second leg? They need a miracle, right?
Well, first things first, got to remind the team it's not over till it's over.
2 goals down, that's a tough one to swallow.
It is, but not impossible. Look, a lot of it's psychological, you know?
Okay.
They got to shift that momentum.
Regain that belief, like, hey, we can actually do this.
Exactly. And tactically, well, got to exploit Flamengo's weaknesses. Every team has them.
The articles didn't mention many. They were pretty dominant.
Sure, but rewatching that first leg, maybe there's something there. Did their defense struggle with a certain type of attack? Can we disrupt their midfield control somehow?
It's like, what, a chess match or something?
Kinda, yeah. Anticipate, counter, stay one step ahead, but also, and this is huge, got to keep a cool head.
No more of those heated exchanges.
No rash challenges, no letting emotions get the better of them. Discipline, smart play, that's key.
Right. But let's be real. What are the actual scenarios here? What does each team need to do to win this thing?
Okay, so Flamengo, they got that 2-goal cushion, remember? 3-1 from the first leg.
So they can lose and still win.
Lose by 1, yeah. Even a 1-0 loss, they're still champions.
So Atlético Mineiro, got to win by 3 goals.
At least 3, yeah. 3-0, 4-1, anything like that, they lift the trophy.
What if they win by 2? Let's say 2-0 or 3-1, something like that.
Then, my friend, we're going to penalties. Talk about nail biting.
Oh man, the tension. To be one of those players, stepping up to take that penalty, the weight of the entire Copa do Brasil.
It's the ultimate test of mental strength, right? They call it a lottery, but it's more than that. There's a skill to it, a psychology.
You know, one thing that really stood out in the articles was this idea of Gabigol being like a defining scorer of this century even. It's a big claim.
Bold statement for sure. But look at his record, especially in these crucial matches. He doesn't just score, he scores when it matters most.
It's like he's got this extra gear, you know?
Talent, hard work, game IQ, all of that. But some players, they just have that clutch factor. They block out the noise, the pressure, and deliver.
Like a switch flips. Do you think he'll be the difference maker again in this second leg?
He could be, absolutely. But that's the beauty of football, right? It's a team sport. Someone else might step up, become the unexpected hero.
So we shouldn't count Atlético Mineiro out just yet.
No way. Home crowd, that energy, they'll be fired up. And they've got the talent to pull off a comeback. Don't underestimate them.
We've talked a lot about the Copa do Brasil, but These teams have other games to play before that second leg, right?
Yeah, the Campeonato Brasileiro. It's a long season. These midweek matches are crucial.
So, Atlético Mineiro, they're up against Atlético Go Nest. Got to be a must-win for them, right? Especially after that first leg loss.
Yeah. Need to build some momentum, get that confidence back. It's all about the mindset.
Bounce back. Now, Flamengo, they've got a visit to Cruzeiro. Think they might rest some key players for that one. You know, with that 2-goal lead in the Copa do Brasil.
It's always a tough call for the manager. On one hand, you want those players fresh for the big game, but resting them could disrupt the team's flow, you know?
Send the wrong message. Like, hey, we're not taking this league match seriously. What would you do? Copa do Brasil or go all out in both?
Tough one. I'd look at the opponent, the player's fitness, the bigger picture. Got to find that balance. Short-term success versus long-term goals.
Speaking of long-term, this Copa do Brasil final, it's not just about the trophy, is it?
Oh no, there's more at stake here. The winner, they get a ticket to the Copa Libertadores, South America's biggest club competition.
So, huge implications for both teams. It's not just bragging rights, it's a chance to shine on the international stage.
That's the pressure. That's what makes it so exciting. And that passion, that intensity, it's what Brazilian football is all about.
Well, I got to say, you've opened my eyes to a whole new level of this sport. We've gone beyond the headlines, really dug into the tactics, the psychology. This Copa do Brasil final is more than just a game.
And remember, we've only seen the first act. The second leg, who knows what's going to happen? That unpredictability, that's the beauty of it.
It's been an incredible journey so far. From that electric atmosphere at the Maracanã to those crucial upcoming matches, we've covered it all. But before we go, let's leave our listeners with a final thought. Can Atlético Mineiro defy the odds? Can they pull off a comeback on their home turf? Or will Flamengo hold strong and march on to the Copa Libertadores? We'll be back soon to break down all the action from the second leg and see how the story ends. Until then, keep those predictions coming.